I just wanted to make sure because I kept saying it wrong. Right, give me a second. It will be live. It is preparing.
Oh, we're live. We are. We're good.
Hello.
Richie, say hi to all the people.
Hi, people.
I just got to tag everyone.
Just say hi to all the people.
Hello to the people.
Hello.
Okay.
The thousands in attendance and the millions watching at home. The Rock says.
With Michael Gorman. Okay. Oh, it just popped up and then I lost it. Okay. All right. Give me 2 seconds. All right.
So what did we raise last week? Like 141 or something like that?
Yeah, it was a really good amount.
So just an update. Last Sunday we raised $141 for our Dollars for Angels. We had a little glitch in the spinny thing, so we just doubled it. So everyone donated $8. So thank you for everyone who donated and contributed. We're in the process of scholarshiping a person into sober living tomorrow. So your money did not go to waste.
Beautiful.
Yes, awesome.
Okay. Greater Wealthy Recovery Solutions' mission is to connect those with substance use disorder to recovery treatment services. Additionally, we offer scholarships to safe and effective sober living, educate the public through community outreach, and help veterans access premier quality treatment. Our organization embraces cultural diversity and is inclusive of every race, religion, sexual orientation, veteran status, socioeconomic background, disability, and age group.
Boom.
Boom. Oh, Connor took my mic, so I can't even drop the mic. So I will start with spinning the wheel, and then we're going to introduce our amazing guest. So let's get it popping.
All right, so Jess is going to spin the wheel. Whatever number the wheel lands on, that's the suggested.
Oh, did he just mute?
Fund. The Venmo.
Mike, you're breaking up a little bit. Is it me?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I can hear you now. Beautiful. I think it's the rain. It's going to make the internet a little wonky. So go back. So the Dollars for Angels, right?
Yep, Dollars for Angels. So whatever number the wheel lands on, that's going to be the suggested donation for the night. Dollars for Angels. Angels are people out there struggling with substance use disorder. They're out there in active addiction. When they're ready and willing to get the help they need, we want to be able to provide them with rent for their sober living. So just spin. All right.
So 9.
Is $9 suggested donation. That's to @Recovery Solutions on Venmo, and we'll be sharing the screen on Kimmy G's slot.
And already we have a couple of comments. So Olga Anna Gomez says, hi guys, she's stuck at work but seeing you guys on my break. Thank you, Olga, for tuning in religiously every Sunday. It's amazing. Mandy said, Michael, you're amazing. You helped my cousin Amanda before she passed away and my family in so many ways. I admire all you do in the community, helping those less fortunate and struggling with homelessness and addiction. I am forever grateful for you.
Thank you, Olga. You're a huge supporter of the show. We love you.
That was Mandy that said that.
I love it. I love it.
And then Matt Gannon with the fire.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Mandy. Thanks, Olga, for always checking in. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to sustain.
Yep. And now on to our amazing guest. We have Gorman here.
Gorman, he's the founder of TMF, the movement family. He does a bunch of other stuff. He was the founder of Christmas on the Streets. He's currently a clinician at Habit OPCO. He's a board member of an amazing organization that I happen to know pretty well, MVPASAP, board member of SAMHH. He was a point guard for Anna Marie. Is that Anna Marie was your college?
Anna Maria College. Yep.
Nice, nice. I love it. I just played ball today, my man. Hey, so I always like to start this off. Like, how has addiction impacted you directly or indirectly? Impacted all of us here in some form or fashion. So tell us your story and like in relation to addiction and how it's impacted you.
Yeah, so I would say a little more on the unique side because me personally never struggled with addiction at all. And when it comes to even family, nobody really in the family struggled besides one cousin. So it didn't hit me at first in like a way that many people do, whether it's personally struggling or knowing someone that currently is struggling. I became curious about the life. So that's kind of where the TMF program comes into play. And I started that when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
So a little background, I guess, before I get into TMF. So I went to, like you just mentioned, went to school at Anna Maria College, studied social work. My senior year, did an internship at a unique place, motivating youth recovery, an adolescent detox in Worcester. So,
Yeah.
13 to 18-year-olds struggling with addiction was a pretty unique way to start. Not many adolescent detoxes out there, Then I went over to Tewksbury Detox, was a case manager at Tewksbury Detox for a while. Then became a case manager at Spectrum Methadone Clinic on the Plastow Haverhill line. And then worked with advocates, so inmates dealing with substance abuse in the jails, in the prisons, and then currently clinician at OPCO and Lowell Methadone Clinic. But before all that started, before I even got into the addiction field, 18 years old, this summer, going into my freshman year of college, started a program in Lawrence, TMF, which stands for the Movement Family. And the program is designed for individuals looking for a second family in life that may be seeking love, guidance, and support that may have not had that growing up. So that's kind of the mission statement of the program. So with the TMF piece, we didn't do homelessness, addiction, mental health, none of that stuff at first. It was basically just a program with young individuals just trying to stay on the right path in life. So the first few years, it used to be like a workout crew, run a 3-mile run together, trying to, stick together, determination, trying to accomplish a 3-mile run. So it started with only 50 individuals at first, and it continued growing. We then translated that into a Monday night meeting once a week as a group. We kind of worked together on like goal setting, different things to be a better person in society. Because a lot of the TMF members come from different backgrounds, pretty diverse families. So, no father figure in the home, depression, got the anxiety, socially struggling, suicidal thoughts, hanging more at the park than in the school. So that's kind of how the program started. I don't want to go too far in depth in the beginning, but that's how the program began.
That's amazing. That sounds like an awesome, amazing program. With that program, so is it like like a sponsorship in terms of family? Like, do family sponsor people, or you guys, the board members and the people involved are the family?
Well, to be honest with you, 18 years old, right? So going into my freshman year of college, so it was only a summer program. So we literally started from nothing. No money, no building, nobody telling us what to do. We're just a bunch of young individuals, right? I remember the first few people that started the program. It was me, I was 18, a couple of friends that were on the border of gang life, kind of taking the street life compared to continuing education. And it just continued to build. So that with that summer program, there was no board. It's not a nonprofit organization. Just a bunch of kids in the community trying to do the right thing. We kind of had this vision of like, oh, we want to change the world. We're trying to stay on the right path. And after a couple years, my sophomore year in college, that's when the community piece really came into place. That's when the addiction, the homelessness came into place. So me and 3 TMF members, we took a notebook, and it sounds crazy, but I was so curious in regards to addiction and the lifestyle of the streets in Lawrence that we took a notebook and we studied Lawrence inside and out. And what I mean by that is we went under every single bridge in Lawrence, every alleyway, certain sections of the city that were, known as being hot, especially a lot of the corners where prostitution, people actively using. And we didn't approach anybody that was struggling on the street. We really just watched. We really watched to see kind of like demographics. Who were the people out here? What were they doing? And for that whole year, we just learned. And then that's when we kind of took the approach of like the hands-on. We kind of started to approach these individuals. That's where the community piece started. It's a little confusing to understand, but TMF was only just ourselves at first. But then when we decided to do to better ourselves, we had to learn how to give too at the same time to grow as a person.
That's just incredible because in my like you said, you come from it's unique, right? That you got dove into everything that kind of we're trying to work with, right? That the addiction piece, the mental health piece, and you don't suffer from the disease yourself. There was no one in your immediate family, but yet just something drew you to it because you wanted to make a change. Do you have any idea what that was? Or was just like the mental, like trying to understand it a little bit more?
It was right there in the backyard. I mean, like I just wanted to understand it. I didn't get it. Like I didn't see it firsthand in the home. Like I wasn't battling depression where I just kind of wanted to feel this certain pain. You drive by on Broadway Street in Lawrence, right? And you drive by and you see people backpack on, walking down the street. You see a female just standing on the corner and, just looking both ways, staring cars down as they drive by. You see that when you go by and you sometimes hear people and yelling out the window saying some explicit stuff to some females, right? I wanted to understand it. So when I mean we approached it in a certain way, we decided to get gift cards, right? And we wanted to think about how can we build a relationship with someone on the street. So we got McDonald's gift cards when I was like 18, 19 years old. And we asked the female or somebody that was in the street, hey, would you guys mind walking to McDonald's? We'll get you a burger and fries. But the real approach we weren't taking was to give someone food. We wanted to sit them down in McDonald's and actually talk to them. So the first time we went to McDonald's, there was a girl working the corner. Her name was Chachi. And we had a McDonald's gift card and we decided to walk down the street with her, get her some food. And I remember me and a couple TMF members sitting inside McDonald's and it's like, hey, like we're TMF, do a lot of community stuff and we see you out there and it's like we just wanted to learn her story. And little did we know she was from Chicago, Illinois. She had a heroin addiction. She was struggling with cocaine, hasn't seen her son in 7 years, completely disappeared from like society in a whole. And I just started to run with it with TMF. I wanted to know more. And we decided to from those gift cards in McDonald's, I always was scared with TMF, like, man, I'm scared that when we leave McDonald's or talking to these individuals, we might not see them again. Because you never know, you live in a lifestyle like that, right? You could either end up in jail, you could go into a program, you could pass away, or you could just disappear and never know what happened to that person. So what we decided to do was take their first and last name and jot it down in our notepad in our phone. So instantly, if we didn't know where this person went, we decided to go on Google and look up the full name. And typically you could see in the police log in the town of someone getting arrested. So we decided to end up visiting a lot of these women that will work in the street at the Framingham Women's Prison. We took visits to Middleton, Billerica, Gardner, Witt and Salisbury, Lawrence, the farm. And we decided to continue building that relationship behind bars and writing letters. And man, it just continued to grow. We wanted to continue to know why,
That's, I mean, when we're in recovery, social women, we're doing whatever. She probably had no idea what you were offering her. She probably in the back of her head said, what does this guy really want from me? And instead
I remember the first time you went, she like was confused. Like, is this like a date or is this somebody working for like an undercover? She was confused as heck. Like, who is this kid trying to tell me like, hey, let's go grab some food and talk about life right now? She just didn't seem to understand.
Because that's not the case in that lifestyle. Everyone wants something.
No, of course, yeah.
Walking up with McDonald's gift card, she's probably thinking, what do I have to do to earn this? But instead, you're like this unicorn, that just wants to like try to help her and understand where she's at.
hmm And we just, in regards to that, we studied it so much with that notebook. We were studying the times females were out there. We were studying, prices, like, even females that were telling. I remember when we studied it so much, females were actually opening their purse and showing me married, 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 works here, has a family, makes good money, but picks me up on the side. Cheap money. I'm sick. You think I want to be out here because I want to be out here? I'm out here because I don't want to feel sick anymore.
Yep.
And we learned all about that lifestyle. And I can't tell you, those relationships from back in 2013, 2015 will forever be engraved in my heart, because those individuals actually aren't out there anymore. Not many. There's quite a few that are, in sobriety. Quite a few that, passed away, unfortunately. But those beginning stories forever stay with you throughout the journey.
So a couple of comments, and then I'm sure that Mike and Richie have some good questions. Teresa Champa Legiro, Mike's mom, said, "Happy Sunday, everyone."
Teresa.
Happy Sunday, Mom.
Then Sandra Sapienza said, "Hi, Michael."
Oh,
I don't
hi,
know,
Sandra.
but one of you. Blake Rickardson said, "Act like you know." Sean Canizaro said, "You guys are awesome." Susan Caporizzo Jara said, "Proud of Michael and TMF."
Hi, Susan.
Lindsay Gorman did a heart symbol.
My sister.
Anne Marie did a thumbs up. Candy Lynn did hearts. Kevin Druin said, "The entire city of Lawrence loves you and TMF."
Kev.
Chris Silva said, "This is the best recovery. I love to listen to all of you. Shout out once again to Mandy Mcgowan and crew out from Lowell, Mass. The great job they do," which is so true. Lowell Transitional Assistants, they're doing amazing. And then Tammy said, "Hi, everyone. Michael is amazing and so proud to have him in my corner. My family will forever be grateful for everything he did to help my sister Amanda while she was out there on the streets of Lawrence before she passed away in 2015. Frank H. Kahn said, "Mike is amazing and inspirational. He shows love and respect for all of God's creation, regardless of social or economic background. May God continue to bless the efforts of TMF and Michael Gorman, TMF." Chris Silva, Mike Gorman, TMF, my man. Maureen Gorman Murphy said, "Proud of you, Michael and TMF." Chris Silva said, "Just want to say I will and always love you." Tara Shannon, "Thank you for your share for touching on mental health." Congrats, Tara, for 3 years. I saw that this week.
Woo!
That's awesome. Your humility supersedes you, Michael. TMF is amazing. And as always, reach out to the Bridge Recovery Center in Malden if you need resources and help. I think I got them all.
Love it.
So I want to rewind it a little bit. What piqued your interest to enter the world of social work? Because it's definitely not for the faint of heart. You lose a lot of people, you deal with a lot of difficulties, people facing adversity, trauma, all these things, all these unkind. This world is an unkind place. What piqued you and drew you into that?
To be honest, I was going to college to play basketball, so going to school and concentrating on a major wasn't the main focus at the time. So I go to Anna Maria, I pick human services, don't entirely know what that entails. But my sophomore year, this older kid that was graduating from the basketball team said, "Let's walk over to this lady's office. She's the director of social work, and I want you to sit down and talk to her." I told her about the program you want run in Lawrence, and I think this will be a better fit if you want to continue running that program and helping people who are in a dark place in their life currently. So I went, had a talk with her, fell in love with the program and stuck with it sophomore to graduation. And man, because when you think about social work, it touches base on a lot of different things: mental health, homelessness, addiction, elderly, prisons. Like it's there. I think all different places need it. Hospitals. Yeah, it's not the biggest money maker, right? But I guarantee you that's gonna hit your heart in different ways where you're just gonna cherish and appreciate life a lot more. And those relationships you build with people in the field of social work forever sticks with you. You see it all in a sense, never a dull moment,
That was one of the questions I was going to ask you, Michael. Like, what was in your research in the streets and just research and just in your career, what was the thing that you were surprised about the most, that you were like, wow, I would have never expected this to happen? Or, you know, just something that involved that your research that just surprised you?
Okay, so when I was on the streets right now, when I was studying it, I don't know, when I started making that human interaction, talking to them, I don't know if they're gonna say, screw off, kid, you don't know me,
Right.
you know, like take a hike. But I would have never thought that they would have kind of taken me under their wing, right? And that sounds weird. You're having someone on the street take you under their wing, right? Right. But I wanted to watch someone shoot up. Like I wanted to see it with my own eyes. Never saw it. I remember the first time I walked out of a convenience store, I saw someone shaking uncontrollably. He said, "This is what cotton fever looks like. Worst feeling in the world." So now I'm seeing cotton fever. You know, I was watching the females on the street. I was watching someone under the bridge. I was watching someone that for the first time in my eyes, struggling, crying, can't find a vein. You know what I'm saying? Trying to find a spot in their neck. You know, this wasn't my life 10 years ago. And they took, so the biggest surprise to your question is they took time, right? You're in a dark place in your life. You know, the world's falling apart, and they took time to really talk to me and kind of treat me like that was their own brother or sister. It's like they love me in a sense, you know, and I would have never thought that. You know, I think there's so many programs out there that hand that sandwich out to someone on the street, or, you know, give that clothing. But I was more of with TMF where, you know, that helps, you know, to build a conversation. But I wanted to stick with the person from the corner, the bridge, the alleyway throughout the journey. So we were bringing people from 19 years old, right? Never been to a detox in my life. You know, never saw a jail in my life. So I remember the first time we took someone under the Casey Bridge, the middle bridge in Lawrence, and we brought someone to Tewksbury Detox. I had no idea what I was doing, but it was the experience. These addicts brought me to hospitals, dealing with endocarditis, dealing with MRSA, dealing with an abscess on their arm. So I was seeing things that I feel like addiction, kind of like a 360. You go through so many different phases of life, the highs, the lows, and man, that was the beginning, you know.
And it was probably too because you saw people, they weren't just addicts on the street, right? Like you saw them for who they were and you were trying to understand it. And I think that's so rare, you know, for people. Normally people see people shooting up, you know, they call it methadone mile. I like to call it recovery road or whatever we're calling it these days, mass cast. But you weren't just like watching them to make fun of someone or to post it on Facebook. You were watching them and observing because you wanted to figure out what made this happen. Like, how could someone go from living in Chicago to then 10 years later, you know, selling their body, not seeing their son, like all those different things. And you wanted to, it seems like you wanted to learn it and try to, obviously, because of what you're doing, is try to find a way to help it and try to understand it.
Yeah.
Of course. No, you hit it right there. Yep.
What was the longest period of time you ever spent with an individual?
So there was a few. So I'm actually writing a book. So 10 lost souls on 4 street corners. So it's about 10 females that will work in 4 corners in Lawrence. Corner of Haverhill and Broadway, the corner of Green and Broadway, Tremont Broadway, and Cedar and Broadway. Those were 4 corners during a time period that were so hot that, you know, the amount of police, people, you know, drugging in those areas was big time. So I built a relationship with 10 individuals, and I stuck with them throughout the journey, starting back in 2013. And, you know, we have 4 that are currently sober, 4 that have passed away, 1 that's currently in prison, still in Framingham prison, and 1 that's still on the street on the corner. So took you know, 10 lost souls on 4 street corners, and you know, I've had the sad stories, and then I've had the good stories as well. So I would say longest would probably, man, when you think about it, there's a couple that are still out there. So I would say a good 2013, so a good 7-8 years now of someone that still hasn't found the light, unfortunately, you know.
Wow. And how often would like you shadow them? Like you talked about, like shadowing person, watching them, you know, face like DTs, watching them feel, you know, cotton fever, watching them shoot up. Like how long would you shadow them? Like would you just connect and be like, hey, like let's link up today, I want to, you know, experience what you're experiencing? Like, how would that look like?
Yeah, well, I was lucky because I'm playing basketball, right? So I'm not having to work a full-time job. So when I come home from the summer, from playing basketball full-time at Anna Maria College, I return in June, right? So June to the end of August, I was grateful. I'm still working out for coach at home, in the gym. And besides that, a lot of my time was in the streets. So I was going with TMF members driving down Broadway. Next thing you know, I'm taking a walk to the campsite. Next thing you know, I'm just kind of spending a good few hours during the day, I would say.
Nice.
And like I mentioned, never a dull moment, never bored. There's always something going on, something to see,
And just a reminder, our magic number tonight was 9, right? It was 9. So for Dollars for Angels, you can donate more, you can donate less if you can't. This goes to so that we continue to scholarship people to safe, reputable, sober living. And continue doing kind of what we do, because like we always say, this money isn't going to us, it's going to continue helping people to sober living, as well as our other services. We provide free recovery coaching. Mike does an unbelievable job, placing people into all different levels of care for treatment. Recovery coaching, Richie the team will evaluate which of us would be the best fit recovery coach for them. Intervention work, resources. So just reach out. And again, all those services are free. What the money is for is to scholarship people into sober living. And, hopefully if a veteran ever needs assistance, we can help scholarship a veteran, because that's a thing that's really important too. I know all of us, especially Richie, too. So just to throw the services out there, and the magic number was 9 tonight.
Good job. Great job, Jessica.
Thank you, Richard.
What's your I thought Richie had something for
I
you.
thought he did too. He set it up,
so
and then didn't hit
little off recovery topic. What was your stat line? Your best season?
In high school, I was a scorer. College, more of a pass first point guard. We had the scores, so more of an assist and just controlling the offense type guy. Wasn't the biggest scorer in college. Started point guard in 4 years. Extremely grateful for. It was an amazing fit for me, but more of a pass first point guard.
All right. Well, how many dimes? How many dimes a game?
Man, I think it was a better assist to turnover ratio. I didn't think I really turned the ball over much, but I would say probably I think my senior year, probably around 6-7 assists a game. I would believe so. Yeah, which was pretty good. Yeah, so basketball was a big piece of my life. I would say, bringing it now, right? So we're in 2021. I think, TMF really exploded in regards to people knowing about the program when we started the TMF dinner. So that's when people really started to know about TMF. At first we were kind of under the radar, I would say. They've heard about us, didn't really know what we did. So in 2018, how I mentioned we had those Monday meetings for the TMF members. So we did it. We drove by the bus station in Lawrence one night, and we noticed there was a homeless individual sleeping on the bench in the bus station. So we go back to the TMF meeting, and we were talking, and it's like, why don't we set up a table and bring some food inside the bus station and have a dinner with the homeless? Now, Lawrence was pretty unique because I don't think a lot of bus stations have an overpass where it's it's just completely sheltered. It's a pretty cool location in regards to that. So I remember the night like it was yesterday, 2018. We have about 5 members in my car. We go to Little Caesars Pizza, get 8 boxes of $5 a box, and we got one table in the trunk. So we set up one table in the middle of the bus station, and we have all these boxes of pizza. And we yell out loud, anybody that wants to come eat, come to the middle. So we got one table and chairs, and it was maybe 5-6 homeless, right? That night. And then we go back the next Monday and we decide, let's do this every Wednesday night, 9 to 11 p.m. I couldn't believe that 3 months down the line, that summer, there was 100 people inside the bus station. Wow. In a huge circle. So we took the approach that we didn't want to be just a soup kitchen. So we didn't want to just bring the food. Hey, Phil, Mike, I'll see you next Wednesday. We'll have more food for you. we wanted to think outside the box. Let's try to work our way into their heart and hopefully get them off the street. So what we did is we had the dinner there, and then we brought Tewksbury Detox inside the bus station, the admissions coordinator and a case manager. We brought the methadone clinic inside the bus station. We then brought a donations table. So we, instead of the donations table of homeless people digging through garbage bags looking for clothes, we set up racks and we hung up all the clothes. They were like looking through the clothes, felt better about themselves.
Wow.
A prayer table, a board games table. So we played Connect Four for a gift card. So that got very intense for the homeless individuals. And we just ended up having a family dinner. And by that summer, 100 people in a circle, just trying to stick together. And it was crazy because around 25 people that year were taken off the streets of Lawrence and into treatment from the bus station. And
That's
then unfortunately, in 2019, it gets shut down by the Lawrence mayor. And we're running at a new location. So Lawrence mayor shuts it down, unfortunately. During that time, it was a hurtful situation, but we're still out there in a different location.
That's beautiful. That's inspiring, man. That motivates me to want to do more, like good on you guys for setting that up. I see videos on Facebook now of that night, and you guys bring in like speakers now, some recovery speakers and stuff like that. It's just amazing, man. It's so motivating, so refreshing to see someone so young doing so much.
I'm gonna need you over there to be a guest speaker one night.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'll be there.
So we have a couple of comments. Eric Sharp said, "Hi, Michael. My mom and I like to help you. She will be baking cookies and stuff this week for our TMF family." That's awesome.
Yeah, they make desserts every Wednesday, Sandra and her son. So extremely grateful.
It's incredible. Kevin Caprio said hi. Patrick Panisi.
Yeah.
Patrick Panisi said good kids, and then him and Chris Albano were arguing on it. Sean Canizaro said, "What a story, Michael. You're awesome. You're an inspiration. Keep helping people who are in the struggle. Greater Walking Recovery Solution. You guys rock." Thank you, Sean. And we can take a moment to just go through the team if we want.
Do it. You want me to do it?
Go for it. Let's
do it.
I'll give you the reins. That one.
So we got Julie Bunch. She's our executive director. We have our assistant director, Deb Moore. We have the wonderful Jessica Grillo, who wears many hats. She's also our secretary. We have the Wolf, who is the director of operations and our recovery coach supervisor. We have Linda Powell. She's our registered nurse, team registered nurse, and does many other things. She kind of leads the charge with outreach and things of that nature, getting contacts for us to outreach to. We have Kim. Kim's our social media extraordinaire. All the content you see is mostly provided by Kim.
I knew you were going to say extraordinaire for some reason.
And Kim keeps me in check too. That's a part B of her job, is keep Richie Evans, the Wolf, in check.
And yeah, she keeps the Wolf in check, and she also has that cool box that's on our Zoom right now that says "at Recovery Solutions" with a barcode. So if you want to donate, it's $9 per person. If you want to donate more, that's fine. If you want to donate less, that's cool too. And we have the wonderful Mandy Mcgowan. She does many things for the community, especially. She's always out there working hard for people up in Lowell and the surrounding area, Merrimack Valley in general. Mandy's just been a wonderful teammate. And we have Kara McLean, and I think I got them all.
And
right?
yourself.
Oh, and myself.
The Lion, the Wolf and the Lion.
The Wolf and the Lion. What is he, a Lannister? Brianna Lent said, "Michael, I know you're interested in watching Detox and all the ins and outs. I highly recommend spending time with the detoxing babies at Lawrence General. I don't know if this is something you're interested in, but you can learn off of it."
Oh, I love it. Love it. Good stuff.
Tara Shannon said, "Michael, thank you for also touching on research work. I owe my life to Matt Gannum, who believed in me, and I loved when Mikey Legs told me to pay it forward, and that was the best advice ever. It's a blessing being of service to others, especially helping other women. Thank you also, Michael, for your compassion in women. Need more supports, and thank you for what you do." That's a great point, for, a guy to then be invested in trying to support women and getting them out of the lifestyle. It's huge, because girls on the street, they think, like I said earlier, they think a guy's interested and it's only interested in one thing. So for someone to come along and it be genuine and really want to help them, it's I don't know if that's ever even happened before in life. DeCarlo Nico said, "You're all a blessing." Iris Rivera,
Nico!
is his name Nico or DeCarlo?
Nico.
Nico's his first name.
Oh, it's backwards on here. Iris Rivera said, "Hi, we'll be back soon." Tommy Cacavaro said, "Hi, everybody." Hi, Tommy.
Hi, Kaka.
Stephen Raymond said, "We need more people like you, Michael. Such an inspirational person. Much love." Mando Yapa said, "Michael was and is an angel in a world of darkness. Love you." Megan O'Sullivan, my coworker, said, "Michael, I love that I got to hear about the work you do and love the prayer table touch you had set up too." Amen to that. Hi, Jess. Hi, Megan. Thank you for tuning in. And then Susan Andrews said, "Hi, everybody." And I think that's all the comments. And again, please comment if you have any questions and we'll read them off and get to them. But I think I nailed them all.
Good job.
Good job.
So Mike, I got a couple questions for you. I'm gonna say them both just so that in case I forget one of them. Could you explain what is the thing you loved most about your job? And then also, can you explain what's the most challenging part of the work and service that you do in the community?
So the thing I enjoy most, I would just definitely say that connection, that relationship building. I also, I guess the approach I take is also kind of like a work approach. So I take this motivational interviewing approach where you kind of meet the person where they're at, you know what I'm saying? Never looking down on someone and telling them, "Hey, you know, you really gotta take this approach. You gotta get it together. Like, I don't know why you keep doing this to yourself. And like, do you see what, you know, what's causing?" I take more of like, you know, where do you want to be? You know, where do you want to go? Like, believe in yourself for once, you know, like, but actually, like, don't just say it, like, truly believe in yourself. You can do this. So I take the motivational interviewing approach. That relationship building is definitely my favorite from it. The most challenging, the people that don't make it, you know, unfortunately lose their battle to it. Live by the saying, you know, love the addict, hate the addiction. I've seen some of the most beautiful people struggling with addiction, like literally the most beautiful people just can't seem to get out of the darkness. And I've seen some people that have wanted it too, you know, like went into treatment, got out, left AMA, relapse, get arrested for a warrant, come back out, tolerance changes, overdose, lose their battle. Like I've seen some of the most painful stories of someone that actually they're really trying to get out and unfortunately have lost their battle. So that's the most challenging for me. It's hard to accept that.
And that's where the mental health component comes in, that someone wants to get out of it, but they're, you know, anxiety or depression or PTSD or abuse, it all comes back out. And it's like pulling someone out of there when it's that deep is really, really hard. You know, really hard. There's so many demons. Richie, you had a second question. Did you ask both?
No, you guys go ahead. That was two. I got a couple more. I'll squeeze them in.
I'll squeeze one in right now. Squeeze one in. Ready?
Squeeze it in.
So having gone through that social work program, where do you think they could improve on substance use disorder education for social workers exiting school and into the field?
Good question, Michael.
Yeah, definitely. So I was fortunate. So my senior year, you have to do an internship, right? So senior year, getting my bachelor's degree, you have to do an internship. But I remember when they gave me the packet of options I could choose from, there wasn't much options for substance use. So I actually had to go out there and find motivating youth recovery in Worcester. So I went back to Anna Maria and I said, "Hey, I found this program, adolescent detox. I do my internship here." There wasn't even many options for the substance use disorder. It was mostly mental health, elderly, homeless shelter, and something else. So I was fortunate to engrave more substance use into Anna Maria College. But I think just more of the hands-on stuff. You know, I teach group at the methadone clinic daily, right? I teach a unique group, 4:45 in the morning. It's called early bird for a lot of individuals that have to get to work. So that's an early group, right? But in group, I tell them, like, I could tell you guys right now about how this certain substance is affecting the dopamine in your head, and kind of just walk them through the process, right? But I'm like, you know, screw the book stuff for a minute. Like, learn from each other. Like, look at the experiences you guys have. Like, you guys each in this room right now could write a book of the highs and the lows you guys have been through. You know, use this group to listen what you guys have been through, connect to some of the painful situations you guys have, you know, put yourselves through, and try to grow from here. And I think the human connection and interaction is way more powerful from the books. So what needs to be worked on, I would say, is more of the hands-on stuff. Listen, because I'll tell you right now, those addicts dating back to 2013 and dealing with homelessness taught me more than books could ever teach me. Sorry.
Absolutely.
You know, I wouldn't, if I went to school just for the social work and reading a substance use disorder book, yeah, I'm going to know how it affects certain parts of the brain, and I'm going to know stimulants and opiates and amphetamines and, you know, benzodiazepine. But if you don't see the cotton fever or someone shooting up with the tears rolling down their face and stuff like that, it's going to be that disconnect. You're going to have someone behind closed doors in the office with you, looking across from you, and they're going to be like, do you really understand me though? Look at me. They ask me sometimes, have you ever struggled with addiction? I say no, but I'll tell them I got to be quite honest. I was out there. I learned. I listened, and they respect that, you know, fully.
Well, you've done a lot more than most people in your position do. So kudos to you for that.
So, Mike, quick question for you. What advice would you give somebody such as yourself that's trying to start a grassroots movement to be of service to the community and or at-risk youth? What's some of the learning curve, and what's some advice you would give to somebody that's just starting out?
Yeah, so definitely put yourself out there. Get your feet wet. You know, I remember, it sounds so crazy, but when we were 18 with that notebook, we decided to go into a soup kitchen and eat. I've never been to a soup kitchen in my life. And they didn't even know who, like, you go into a soup kitchen, right? There's 3 in Lawrence. Remember, we walked into Karunum at 18, 19 years old. Grabbed the plate, and we sat at the table, and we just ate. And we were looking around like, oh, wow, like, man, people come here every day. And that's how we got our feet wet. Remember the first time I walked over to the Daybreak shelter in Lawrence, you know, obviously those are bunk beds, but I stood outside and I kind of just was by the line of people just lining up, just kind of talking to them. Get your feet wet, start somewhere. Sometimes people have to humble themselves, have to learn how to have a grateful heart. People just go on, you know, head first and think they can just accomplish the world. Humble yourself, you know, have that grateful heart, pay it forward, ask for nothing in return. You know, I always try to tell people, you know, you'll be in a room of people, right? Whether it's you're going to class, you're in a group for substance use, and you might see smiles all around you, right? You walk out of that group or out of that class, you have no idea what someone's facing the rest of the day. Right? You might have someone that might be smiling in class, but releasing all the tears in the shower when they get home, just letting it all out. Don't know how to get through the rest of the day. You know, I have people in group and people that it's a struggle to get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Talking about the day, that's too much to think about. You know, 3 o'clock seems so far away. I'm struggling at 7 a.m. to even take a shower. I'm struggling to feed myself. I can't even think about going out the front door. So we talk about little wins. First win, get out of bed. Second win, you took a shower. Look at you. Got out of bed, you took a shower. That's 2 wins right there. We'll try to eat something. Put something in your stomach. Walk out that door. Head high. Let's get it. You know, life is tough, but I'm tougher. Let's see what we can accomplish today. So
I love
just trying to have, you know, just humble yourself. Start somewhere. Start somewhere. You can't accomplish the world. You have to start from the ground up. Work your way up. You know,
I love that, you know, those little wins, because sometimes when you're in the depression or in anxiety, just getting up and taking a shower, you know, especially throughout COVID, like how people are dealing with it, like it's a struggle. So I actually have a question for you. So as someone who had previously been on prescription methadone, you know, what was your experience like dealing with people and like the stigma of it? Because people think that, oh, methadone clinics, those people are all messed up, they're nodded off, and, you know, that's what being on methadone is like. But clearly you're doing a group at 4:45 a.m. Those are the people probably with take homes, with jobs, who you're not seeing outside. So what is your experience working with people on such a stigmatized medication?
Good question, Jess.
Yeah, so very good question. Obviously that stigma's there, right? Medicaid assisted treatment, whether it's, methadone, Suboxone, Vivitrol. So I get into the methadone world, right? It was a whole new experience for me. Just like I mentioned, started at Spectrum in Haverhill, now currently at Habit OPCO in Lowell. Methadone's a whole different world.
It is.
Kind of just learning about getting at a stable dose, learning about the whole entire program in a whole, understanding the word maintenance with methadone. I try to tell people, what works for someone doesn't work for someone else. So if you succeeded with Vivitrol or Suboxone, doesn't mean everyone's gonna succeed with, Vivitrol or Suboxone. I have tons of people who have succeeded on methadone, been able to get at a, stable dose, right? But I try to tell people, whether you're in the clinic or outside, it's not just a physical thing. You're not gonna succeed if you just go to the clinic every morning, get your dose to 70 milligrams, walk back out the door and just continue with the day. Those groups are put in place for a reason. Those counseling sessions with the clinician for a reason. You have to work on the whole mental side of things. It's not just the physical aspect. Work on the coping skills, you know what I'm saying? Work on the triggers, work on the urges, work on the cravings, learn how to become stronger mentally. So when you do get faced with, something, you'll be able to, be mentally strong to walk away, say no. And then within time, when you're ready, you're stable mentally and physically, learn how to slowly taper off the methadone. Everyone wants to come off it so quickly where you think you want to drop 5 milligrams a week and all of a sudden you're just going to be successful.
No.
Go slow, stop it again if you need to stop and readjust and kind of take some time with it. Start it back up again when needed. Communicate with your clinician. So people on the outside looking in with methadone might not totally understand it. You're still on a narcotic drug, now you're doing fentanyl and you're doing methadone. You're really going to succeed. But until they really understand, so when I try to tell someone that doesn't understand methadone, I tell them like this in the beginning. It's a harm reduction model in the beginning, right? So say you're shooting 4 grams a day on the streets, right? IV. And you get on the clinic, right? They start you at 30 milligrams. As you're bumping up in your milligram, the amount that you're using on the street's going down. Harm reduction, right? So say then you go up to 70 milligrams. Maybe you're now only shooting half a gram every few days. Right. Then the eventual goal of methadone is abstinence. You want to reach abstinence, then you want to maintain the abstinence where you can then slowly come off the program. So that's how I try to explain it. So then people are like, oh, okay, I see. I get to see where you're coming from a little bit. So that's what I try to explain it as.
So you try to deal with the T side of the MAT, like we kind of talked about last week, the treatment side, that it's not just the medication and here you go and you're cured. It's deeper than that. It's not just, going to the clinic and so that you're not sick. Yeah, that's a part of it. Yeah, you don't want to be sick. If you're sick, you can't really get that recovery side of it. But it seems like you know what you're talking about. And Habit OPCO, how lucky are they to have you for a clinician? To really understand it, because I've seen it. Places that do prescription methadone that they don't really deal with that other side of it. It's just like a call on once a week. Like, how have you, I don't know how Habit OPCO's been doing it through COVID, if you guys are not having groups or doing 5-minute counseling sessions over the phone, but how have you guys been dealing with that side of it, with the take homes and the this and the that throughout this pandemic?
Yeah, it's an adjustment. It's a transition. So everything's actually telehealth right now. So you're doing it over the phone, the groups. But when you mention the T side of it, right, the treatment piece, like we have a treatment plan. So every 3 months, you're trying to reset your goals. Where are you currently? Where do you want to be? Those groups, they're weekly over the phone. So you have to do a group once a week, stick with that. Be compliant in treatment. A lot of non-compliant individuals, a lot of compliant. A lot of people that will dose every day haven't been a group in a month. And there's individuals that are really, really engaged, really want to better themselves. They have missed no groups, dosing daily, engaged. So, you see both spectrums of it.
Beautiful.
Do you guys have any more? Let me think. Okay, do you have any more comments? Chris Silva said, Michael Gorman, TMF, your words mean so much to many. Christy Longley said hearts. The hearts, that's, half a heart, but you guys know what I mean. And Jennifer DeMello did hearts as well. So it seems like you've really, inspired a lot of people. I know you've inspired me, just as someone who isn't, like we said in the beginning, doesn't suffer from addiction, but yet is doing so much for the recovery community. I think it's incredible.
Did you go into your research with any preconceived notions as to what an addict should or shouldn't look like? And did you face kind of your own stigmas towards addiction? And when you were involved with, you know, people on the street, did you get sensitized to it? And did you become destigmatized and become more compassionate?
Good question.
So I think it helps when kind of like going back to my younger days, the way I was, you know, raised. Fortunate enough to have two parents who really cared, love for me, was always there for me through all pieces of the journey. My mom used to have this quote on the fridge, you know, people may forget what you said and forget what you did, but will never forget how you made them feel. So she was always big, and also my father too, in regards to a person's a person, no matter situations. So I had already engraved in my head. So there wasn't much stigma for me personally with seeing it on the street. I just really, it was that curiosity piece and wanting to know why. And, you know, at first when I was seeing people pass away from the substance use when I was that young, shit hurt. I remember the first time I really dealt with it, it was like, wow, like I just built a relationship with someone. I feel like my heart just dropped, and learning to deal with this is gonna happen sometimes. You know, you're gonna see the pros, you're gonna see the cons, and continuing to push forward throughout the journey. Last piece, and I'll touch base on too with the program is that Christmas on the street stuff. That's my favorite time of the year. So it's December 15th to December 25th. 10 straight days on the street, touching base on different things. So one of the nights is called Hope Night. So TMF members will go to those four corners where girls sell their body to support their habit. We'll climb the street sign. We'll put a purple flower at the top of the street sign that signifies hope. So if one of those women that look up on the street sign, they see that flower, you know, they might know they're not alone. And then taped to the street sign at head level will be an index card with the saying, you know, never give up hope, you're loved, don't lose focus, you can do this, and they'll see that as well. Another day that we do, day 2, is we take Christmas trees and we go under all the bridges in Lawrence and we decorate the trees with the homeless, and they'll take a permanent marker and they'll write someone they've lost or they miss on the ornament, and we'll decorate the tree together and put presents under the tree. You know, day 3, we go to methadone mile. I know you don't like to call it that. I sometimes have that engraved in my head just because there's 2 clinics next to it, Piqued Street and Bradton Street. So there's 2 clinics. I always think methadone over there at that area, but there's so many services. So we head over there. It's like our outreach day. We go to the elderly home, you know, and we go visit them. We do Christmas caroling day 4. We go to different houses. You don't really see that anymore. People Christmas caroling. So I have TMF members. That's been a work in progress, because think about it. TMF is diverse, right? You have individuals that are really on the borderline of kind of going on the right direction, not. Remember the first year we did Christmas caroling, nobody really wanted to answer their door when you ring the doorbell, because you see a group of kids and it's just like, holy crap, what the heck's going outside my door? So within years, I've had to get the Santa hats, I've had to get the carols in front of us ready. People actually answer the door.
I'm volunteering Greater Waltham. We'll be Christmas caroling with you this year.
Well,
Yeah,
how do
I would
we
love
support you, Michael? And
Yeah,
how
I'm about to
how do
join
we-
TMF.
I know.
Yeah, how do we support TMF, and how do we support you? Like, what's how do we do that? How do we put the good word out? How do we support Michael and TMF?
Yeah, so I would love for you guys to I know you guys are real busy. Come check out a dinner, and I feel like you guys would be able to help. You know, if one of you could be a guest speaker one night where you could talk to the individuals in active addiction at the dinner that are sitting in that chair looking at you, I think that would be
Mike would
helpful.
love to do that.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That's cool.
Is those words of hope help, and you guys, you know, would be great for it. You know, if you ever wanted to sponsor a dinner from Greater Waltham, where, you know, you just ask anybody that wants to sponsor a dinner, covers a total of 50 individuals that are there. If you ever wanted to donate clothing or hygiene materials, if you ever wanted to check out the Christmas on the streets.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of different avenues we could take. So maybe we can talk also. You know,
We'll do all of it.
All of
here
it.
as well.
All of it.
All of
Every
it.
one
Love
of
it.
those. We'll
Love
hit
it.
every bulletin.
I was getting emotional when you were talking about, like, I'm like, my eyes are tearing up about how you put these little bit of hope for these women who are still on the streets, you know, just a little,
Yeah, that's
a
a
little
good
bit
night.
of hope. is incredible. I was like getting, I'm like, I'm not gonna start crying, but I wish I'd learned, you just are doing amazing. I'm speechless. I'm always, and I'm right now, and it's not easy to do, but it's really, it's incredible. It's probably changed so many people's lives. Like you said, you watch those 10 women, and 6 out of 10 of them are sober now?
4.
Even one, but 4 out of 10. That's pretty, I mean, I think especially with dealing with how deadly this is, that's pretty good odds of how you're giving back to the community.
No, definitely. I'm just I'm grateful though, like even to be here today, Mandy reaching out, but just being able to be with you guys on this tonight, Rich, Mike, Jess, the questions you guys are asking. I'm just grateful, honestly, and hopefully we can continue the relationship, even after this, and just remain in touch, whether it's even, referrals type things, services available in different areas, and just to have you guys as, a connection piece, if needed, to reach out to you guys.
Yeah, I would love, just personally, I know our organization will do this, but personally, I would love to talk to you a little bit more after the interview, because I want to sponsor some, a few dinners, and anything that I can do, just like physically be there, or anything that I could do, service work, or help you set up chairs, the tables, or bring food, or anything I can do to support you in that faction. I'll be more than happy to do that, Mike.
Man, that would be amazing. Yeah, truly. Thank you, Rich.
So again, our magic number of the night was 9. 9 and feeling fine. So that's the magic number that we're asking if you can donate. If you can't, that's fine. If you want to donate more or donate less. And this money is so that we can continue scholarshiping people to safe, reputable, sober living, which we've been,
we got a gentleman from a hospital that we got lined up for a scholarship tomorrow. So your money is going to good use, getting someone off the streets, out of homelessness, and into safe, sober living. Thank you. You're a long way.
So Julie said, I heard you speak because I wanted to get involved. You gave me your card to contact you. I lost it. I've been trying to figure out who you are for a year now. Wow. So yeah. And then Candy Lynn said, much love. See you Wednesday night. Omara Skies did hearts. My friend Mark is watching, even though he didn't comment, because he gets so freaked out when I can see that he's watching. Let's see. And Susan Caporizo Jara said, so proud of you, Michael. Lucky to know you. Everyone is. I feel blessed, even being able to talk to you. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Do we have any last minute questions for Michael from TMF, from either of you? No. I think we hit it, and I think we raised. Have the number, Mike?
127 was the number that Julie last texted. So. Yep. Thank you guys so much. That covers, virtually a week of sober living for someone. So you guys don't realize how much you contribute into a good cause, and, you can impact someone's life greatly just by covering, a week or two of sober living.
It could be just what that person needs. That 1 to 2 weeks could literally, like Mike just said, save someone. So just a reminder, next week is Easter Sunday. So we are not going to be on Sunday at 7. We'll be looking for Easter eggs and all that stuff. Fire for that, for Easter Sunday, or for us not being on. And then the following week, I think our guest is Steve Sweeney. So just to put it out there, that is going to be our next guest in 2 weeks.
Wow, great guest. Back to back to back. Let's go.
This is like you. I can't wait to meet you in person, and definitely go Christmas caroling and do all the. That's what I'm looking forward to. So again, thank you all out there who are watching. Magic number 9 at Recovery Solutions 0143. Please reach out to us. Oh, I almost forgot. Stay tuned on Wednesday for a special live at 5 for a prize. So
live at 5 for a prize with Kim G. We're going to be hosting a raffle. So tune in Wednesday. If you're interested in sports memorabilia, she's going to reveal. She's going to reveal. Right? She's going to reveal what the prize is going to be.
And that money will then go into still our scholarship fund. So stay tuned. It will get exciting. Just trying to spice it up a little bit. So that's what's going to happen on Wednesday. So stay tuned to the Greater Waltham Recovery Solutions Facebook.
Yeah, and let's all leave the world a better place than we found it.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate it,
Mike.
guys.
Great. Good.